You can't know what you want when you continually kind of working. You need to slow down. Start with a hobby and see where it leads you. My name is Roshana Gray. I live and work in Cape Point. It's deliciously situated in between a mountainside and the ocean. Very elemental. It gets very windy and very hot in summertime and very cold in winter. I would say I was floating. I was first working in retail, and then after that I was working quite extensively in the food industry, traveling from my home, which was a box, in a little car, which was a box, to a little office, which was a box. But really it was counting down the hours until the job was over, and then my life would begin. That wasn't living for me.
She didn't know a lot about wild plants initially, moving here, but what she's done as well is sort of opened up everybody's eyes.
It all started with growing vegetables in my garden. Until a Japanese cyclist came to visit. He ended up staying for 99 days. Every so often he would go on his bike and he would drive off to the beach, and he would come back, and shortly afterwards I could smell these amazing cooking smells coming from his little campsite. He showed me the joys of the sea vegetables. He basically stood out there on the beach with me and he said, look at this, like all of this food, this is all amazing sea vegetables. Why is nobody eating them? From then on, my curiosity was sparked. Very interestingly enough, seaweeds change their nutritional value depending on what season it is. So, for instance, sea lettuce, which is a beautiful green seaweed that grows in the little intertidal pools, it's full of vitamin C in summer and vitamin D in winter, which is pretty perfect. It's designed for us. My interest in learning more of kind of tracking the edible landscape grew to such an extent that I couldn't keep it to myself anymore. When I first started, everybody thought I was completely crazy, and how could you possibly earn a living from going and collecting your food from the wild and showing people how to eat these weeds and things? And that's how the workshops were born. We take people down. It's like completely immersive, interactive learning. And I call it the full circle of learning, where basically you go into the rock pools. We have our like educational with your toes in the water. And then you have your exploring time where we set everybody free on the rocks to go and be free and be childlike and just have fun and explore all the different rock pools. It's quite beautiful to watch the process that happens throughout the workshop of gaining knowledge in the rock pools. They'll pick something, then we'll go and prepare it. We'll process the ingredients. They'll start to be able to identifying all the different species, start to call it by its name, forming a little bit of a relationship with these ingredients.
Take something that looks rather awful at first and you don't ever consider eating it, and to transform it into something that is just so mouthwatering and really also healthy. That was for me just a turning point.
I basically learned everything I know from Roshana. I'd studied to be a chef, and so it made so much sense to find a way to utilize ingredients from the wild, from my backyard.
Aligrekel, which is a herbivorous sea snail, was boiled in seawater, minced and mixed with nasturtium mayonnaise, sesame oil, red onions, herbs, and they were served up straight in their shells. Using the soft seaweeds like sea lettuce and rack that you can eat raw, we made sushi and decorated them with edible flowers. And then sitting down at the table with all this beautiful food that everybody has harvested and created into beautiful dishes, then it's like it's a magical moment of sitting down and appreciating everything and then enjoying it together. I'm proud of the fact that I've taken an idea and a thought, a very arty, romantic one, and it's kind of blossomed in its own way. Kind of changed my outlook on life. Don't not do something and then regret it. What's the worst that can happen? Spread your wings.
Welcome to Super Tuesday here in Puerto Portales, Mallorca. It's the big showdown with the title on the line. It's really between Phoenix and Sled, just 2 points between them, 10-point gap back to Quantum Racing. Now for the finale, we've got a new breeze, we've got a Mistral northerly breeze blowing offshore. We might even see up to 23 knots. It's going to be a great showdown. Who's going to win?
It's going to be a good day. It's a different breeze, so it'll be a different race course, and we're pretty comfortable in this stuff, so just go out there and give it a big shot. We're in Palma, offshore breeze, great.
It's another day. Hopefully it's a good day. We will do everything to have good results.
So in this big showdown, the first race of the day, 17 to 20 knots of breeze blowing offshore. It's shifty, it's puffy, and everything to play for. Phoenix start in the middle of the line safely. Going out in the left, early on off the pin end of the line, we have Interlodge, Allegri and Platoon. Sled go right up the first beat. Now the first mark, it's Phoenix and Gladiator pretty much overlapped with Prevezza in third. Down the first run, while Sled go out to the left. So Phoenix jibe to cover and leave the front of the fleet, leaving Prevezza to go round and lead into the finish line. Phoenix get through in second, take an 8-point lead into the last race. So with that big lead, Phoenix just sail safely, but they make a solid start. Sled are over the start line in the meantime, and Allegri get nicely off the pin end of the line, lead out to the left, and Allegri jump away to a big lead. Phoenix sails safe, get round the course in second. So through the finish line, it's Allegri winning with Phoenix second, and winning the regatta, and Prevezza in third place, take third place overall. So in the end then, Phoenix winning on 25 points, in second Sled on 36, and Prevezza third on 42 points.
Really nice to get a podium. We sort of felt we were knocking on having a good regatta this week, but we just kept making the odd mistake, and it was good just to try and finish it off in the last couple of days.
We've had a really good run for the regatta and sailed pretty darn well, so that we're pretty happy.
And the season standings after 3 regattas, well, Phoenix now leading on 94 points, second are Quantum Racing on 96, Platoon third on 117, Sled fourth on 123.5 points, and Allegra fifth on 136 points.
Feels great. It's such an amazing team that Tony's got here, and it feels amazing to win and win comfortably with this team.
Well, a full programme sailed in the end here in Puerto Portales. A good week of racing in light to moderate sea breezes, and a great finale with Phoenix coming out on top in the end.
idea of the proof of concept currently displayed at Selfridges is one of a transformation. The leading retailers of the world are really thinking how to react to the emergence of e-commerce to evolve and enhance their value proposition to be much more focused on the consumer. The customer experience at the shops has to evolve to amplify the brand, put the customer at the center.
So what we're showcasing here today is an extrusion technology that we've developed to work with ocean plastic. It is based on local manufacturing, so you can actually produce on demand, you don't create the stock, right? You can literally go to a shop or even do it online, choose your product, customize it, and then come here and pick it right fresh from the robot.
Theoretically, every piece of plastic ever made can be recycled. What we're doing is we're cleaning up. We're taking that trash back from nature, and the application that we're presenting is all about giving this material a new purpose and avoiding more plastic to being made.
The retail space is already changing. Robotics is already helping that transformation in areas like omni-channel, micro-fulfillment, customized production, but also robots are bringing and helping retail to fully digitalize. Every operation a robot does has data, and that data can ultimately be used by the retailers to understand better consumer preferences in order to offer them the product they want.
My name is Rachel Kofsky. I'm VP, International Senior Specialist of Handbags and Accessories at Christie's. For 100 years, Gucci has been synonymous with heritage, craftsmanship, and innovation. Now, Gucci has opened Vault, an experimental online space where visitors can acquire precious, vintage objects imbued with the rich history of the house. I am delighted to share some fascinating elements from the story of Gucci, conveyed through signature symbols, motifs, and styles. Lift boy sign. The story of Gucci begins with the tale of Guccio Gucci, who moved from Florence to London at the age of 16. Working as a lift boy at the Savoy Hotel, Guccio was inspired by the luxurious luggage of the sophisticated travelers there and dreamed of creating such magnificent pieces one day. In 1921, he opened his first shop in Florence, combining Tuscan craftsmanship with the refined taste of English aristocrats. Based on the label, we can date this waxed fabric shirt bag to the 1930s. The label features a lift boy holding two pieces of luggage, a proud reference to Guccio's former occupation. The Rinascimento motif. Pattern and repetition have always been important elements in the Gucci universe. The 1950s saw the creation of the Gucci Rinascimento motif, or Gucci Renaissance. The name and inspiration come from 16th century frescoes that have roots in Roman painting. This suitcase is reinforced with metal joists and is articulated with stitched leather, making it both aesthetic and functional. The stickers at the exterior recall the far-flung locations to which the suitcases journeyed. The Leonardo print. This beautiful suitcase is printed and hand-painted, and the flat knot and pomegranate ornamentation recalls 15th and 16th century velvets. GG monogram. The double G initials appeared in the house's collections at the end of the 1960s in homage to founder Guccio Gucci and became a distinctive motif of the brand. This example is a 1960s fabric hat box, a piece of luggage created for jet-setters of the time. Bombay effect. The distinctive domed and polished effect of this 1970s Lycée crocodile bag is a result of very specialized craftsmanship techniques that have been passed down to Gucci artisans today and is known as the Bombay effect. In the house's Florentine workshop, Gucci bags were assembled by hand by one craftsman. The process could involve up to 10 hours and 100 pieces. The hardware is made of 1 gold micron obtained in a 24-karat gold salt bath. The use of gold is also a hallmark of the Gucci universe. Leather suitcase. This very rare late 1930s suitcase is crafted from one of the first materials used by Gucci. The cuoio grasso leather was first used for tack and saddles. The expert method results in a soft, smooth, and flexible leather with an extraordinary resistance to scratches. The finished product is distinctively Gucci. Jackie bag. This model was first seen in 1961 and is now referred to as the Jackie 1961. It is crafted from brown suede with the iconic green, red, green fabric web stripe. This original model is available on Gucci Vault and provides a unique opportunity to acquire a piece of fashion history. The bamboo bag. The house's Florentine artisans found that by burning cane sticks by hand over an open fire. They could mold the lightweight and durable bamboo into a curvilinear shape, perfect for the top handle of a bag. This model, code 0633, was created in 1947 and features a bamboo turn-lock closure. This exemplar from the vault is an original model from the 1960s that has been updated by the house with a two-tone woven leather strap, making this piece truly one of a kind. Clutch with interlocking G hardware. Gucci in the 1970s immediately conjures visions of the disco era. The bag was first seen in the Artisan's Notebook from 1969 to 73. Vault offers collectors the opportunity to acquire this covetable 1970s clutch in a brown suede square GG motif. The number 33 is stamped in the interior, identifying the craftsman who made the bag. Horsebit. Harking back to Gucci's equestrian-inspired heritage, the double ring and bar horsebit hardware is an icon that has endured through the decades. First appearing in 1953, the horsebit traveled from loafer to handbag, and to this day represents one of the most recognizable symbols in luxury. This handbag is the precursor to the house's beloved Gucci Horsebit 1955 line. In the year of its centennial, Gucci has opened Vault, giving collectors and enthusiasts alike the opportunity to acquire a piece of the house's history. The online concept store and the precious objects it holds are a testament to the importance that Gucci places on its archive and archival elements and their ability to captivate decade after decade.
August 17, 1969, Hurricane Camille slams into the Gulf Coast, making landfall just east of the mouth of the Mississippi River. The Category 5 storm kills more than 250 people, more than 35 years before Hurricane Katrina devastates the region. 1998.
They did not constitute sexual relations as I understood that term to be defined.
In Washington, President Bill Clinton faces federal grand jury questioning in the Monica Lewinsky scandal. That's where he finally admits his past relationship with the former White House intern. Afterward, Clinton tells the American people,
Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong. It constituted a critical lapse in judgment and a personal failure on my part for which I am solely and completely responsible.
1896.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men that toil for gold.
Prospectors find gold in Canada's Yukon Territory, a discovery that touches off the Klondike Gold Rush in the following year. 1807. Robert Fulton's steamboat begins its successful round trip up the Hudson River from New York City to Albany, New York. The voyage of the North River steamboat, popularly known as the Claremont, revolutionizes American transportation in the 19th century. 1987. Rudolf Hess, the last member of Adolf Hitler's inner circle in Nazi Germany, dies of an apparent suicide at age 93. Hess was the sole inmate at Spandau prison in what was then West Berlin, serving a life sentence for war crimes. And 1943.
You talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here.
Actor Robert De Niro is born in New York City. Among his films, Taxi Driver, The Godfather Part 2, Raging Bull, Goodfellas, and Analyze This. Today in History, August 17th. Sophia Manos, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,